To help new and returning players get ready for Days Gone Remastered, I made a list of 20 things I wish someone had told me before I started playing Days Gone.
Here, take this. Malicious script, camp credits.
Each camp issues their own currency as you turn in bounties and do jobs for them. These camp credits do not transfer from one camp to another, so pay attention to how many credits you are earning at each camp.
What can I get for you?
In addition to having their own currency system, some camps offer upgrades that others do not. For example, Copeland's camp doesn't sell guns, and Tucker's camp doesn't sell bike upgrades. Keep this in mind as you're deciding which camps to do jobs for.
Someone's trapped. I gotta help them.
You can rescue people that you find while out in the shit and send them to local camps for various rewards. Each camp awards different amounts of trust and credits, so keep this in mind as you're deciding where to send the people you rescue.
Tell them it was Deacon. They'll know.
The game tells you that you can create a save game if you are near your bike or a bed, but it's easy to miss that the game also tells you this won't work if you're currently on an active mission. Always make sure to save your game before starting a mission, or you'll have to rely on the game's autosaves. At the end of each mission, and on completion of various jobs, the player will be shown how many experience points they were awarded. This is shown as a percentage, but is not at all based on your performance during that mission. It simply shows how much XP you got and how much XP you need for your next skill point. You do not own firearms that you picked up off the ground or looted from enemies.
I'll take that.
If you swap it for another weapon, you will lose it. Ammo for these weapons cannot be bought from gun lockers either. You can only refill these weapons by finding another gun like it, purchasing ammo from merchants, looting those little green ammo tins, or by using your saddlebags. Weapons that you bought from a merchant or have unlocked by completing missions are always available to you at any merchant or weapon locker, even if you drop them in the field. Speaking of weapons that you can pick up in the field, there are many hidden loot locations where you can find fully crafted items that are ready to use. That's right. If you're exploring carefully, you can find fragmentation grenades, landmines, pipe bombs, and lots of other goodies that are ready to be used. Just grab them and go. You'll find a video with all of the locations that I know of in the description of this video. Enjoy! In order to make exploration a little easier on yourself, you can remove the fog from the map by locating and clearing the ambush camps from each map region. You can find all of the ambush camps easily by going to an area with a good view and looking for smoke on the horizon. While clearing the fog from the map, you may notice that there is a full list of objectives available for each region. This will show you exactly how many ambush camps and other activities you have left, with no guesswork. In addition to the list of objectives, the map will also show you the exact time of day. In Days Gone, the freaks really do come out at night, so keep an eye on the clock to avoid bumping into a horde that is on the move. You will often have missions that affect multiple storylines, so it can be difficult to keep up with which missions are side content and which missions are required main story missions. The color of the map marker will let you know the difference. Yellow map markers always indicate main story missions, while other colors indicate optional side content. While we're talking about optional side content, be aware that only a few missions can be missed completely. Missions with a white marker may disappear forever if you progress too far with the main story. While these missions really are completely optional, they offer easy experience points and often provide details about the world and characters of Days Gone. Each map region will have a Nero injector that cannot be reached on foot. upgrade the bike's engine to increase your top speed, and upgrade the nitro to improve your jump distance. Then use the bike to go get those injectors. The button for nitro does not toggle the boost on or off. You must hold the button down for maximum burn time. If you find yourself having trouble handling the bike at high speeds, you can customize how it handles in the settings menu. Simply tweak the sensitivity up or down to suit your individual needs.
Engine crapped out.
The early game bike has a tiny fuel tank, and you will need to refill it often to navigate the massive open-world map. Only rookies run out of fuel more than once, as fuel is surprisingly plentiful. Deacon can drive right up to the fuel pumps shown on the map, and those little red fuel cans are everywhere if you're looking closely.
Blair, how you doing?
Some weapons in Days Gone have versions with different quality levels depending on how you got them. For example, low-quality versions of the SMP-9 can be looted from enemies or bought from merchants, but the highest quality version can only be unlocked by killing 4 hordes, which leads into my next tip. Players are given clear warning early on to avoid hordes whenever possible, and most players assume that the game will tell them when it's time to start taking on their first small hordes for practice. The problem here is that never happens. You don't get a main story mission to start killing hordes until you're about 75% done with the game, and the mission is to take on one of the biggest hordes in the entire game, with like 300 freaks. The pro tip here is to start practicing on smaller hordes as early as you're comfortable. If you want to slaughter every horde in the game with superior tactics, superior firepower, and an absolute lack of fear, do yourself a favor and check out the Horde Killer Masterclass video that I linked in the description. Happy hunting! Once you set out to start clearing the hordes, keep in mind that all hordes are locked by story progression in some way, and only 7 hordes are available in the earliest hours of the game. The Horde Killer Masterclass video that I mentioned earlier also has more info on exactly when and where they'll start to spawn. While we're talking about hordes, there will be many opportunities to use the hordes themselves as a weapon. That's right. You can lead hordes to ambush camps and let the freakers do all the work for you. Just kick the hornet's nest and enjoy the show. Bear traps aren't just for stepping in. If you pick one up and place it yourself, it becomes a trap for the enemies and won't affect Deacon anymore. To simply disarm a bear trap, throw a rock at it, or just roll right over it. There you have it, folks. 20 things I wish someone had told me before I started playing Days Gone. Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all next time.